For generations, many of us were taught a simple story, that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492. Driven by ambition and supported by the Spanish crown, Columbus sailed west across the vast Atlantic, searching for a new route to Asia. After weeks at sea, land finally appeared on the horizon, but what he reached was not an empty continent waiting to be discovered. Long before European ships crossed the Atlantic, indigenous peoples had already built thriving communities across these lands. Across the Americas, sophisticated societies cultivated crops, managed trade networks, developed rich cultures, and sustained large populations for thousands of years. Columbus did not arrive in an empty world. He entered a hemisphere already home to millions of people, whose history had begun thousands of years before his voyage. More than 15,000 years ago, during the last ice age, enormous glaciers covered much of the northern world, transforming Earth's landscapes. As sea levels fell, a vast land bridge called Beringia emerged, connecting Siberia and Alaska across what is now the Bering Strait. Following migrating animals and changing seasons, small groups of hunter-gatherers gradually crossed this frozen landscape into a new continent. They survived through knowledge, cooperation, and remarkable adaptability, carrying only the tools and skills needed to endure an unforgiving environment. These were not just hunters, they were families, parents, children, and elders, bringing their traditions and future generations with them. Over thousands of years, their descendants spread across North America, becoming the ancestors of the diverse indigenous peoples who shaped the continent long before Columbus arrived.
North America was never home to just one people. It was a vast mosaic of hundreds of nations, each with its own homeland, traditions, and story. In the eastern forests, communities lived among towering trees, building longhouses, harvesting nature's gifts, and passing knowledge from one generation to the next. Across the Great Plains, people followed the great bison herds, shaping lives built on movement, cooperation, and deep respect for the land. In the deserts of the Southwest, skilled builders transformed dry landscapes into thriving communities through farming, engineering, and remarkable resilience. Along the Pacific coast, rich forests and abundant waters supported master canoe builders, gifted artists, and vibrant coastal societies. Though their languages, beliefs, and ways of life were different, together they formed one of the most diverse human landscapes on Earth, long before Europeans ever arrived.
Long before European ships crossed the Atlantic, great cities already flourished across the Americas. Some were home to tens of thousands of people, rivaling many of the largest cities in Europe.
These societies transformed the landscape through remarkable agricultural knowledge, developing farming techniques perfectly adapted to deserts, mountains, forests, and wetlands. Across vast distances, carefully maintained roads and trade routes connected communities, allowing ideas, goods, and people to travel across entire regions. Skilled artisans produced remarkable pottery, textiles, carvings, and jewelry, works that reflected generations of knowledge, creativity, and cultural identity. Trade networks stretched across the continent, exchanging valuable materials, food, technology, and traditions over thousands of miles. These were not isolated settlements. They were thriving civilizations where culture, commerce, and community flourished long before Columbus arrived. Long before Europeans built cities across much of North America, one metropolis already stood beside the Mississippi. Its towering earthworks were built basket by basket, creating one of the largest monuments ever raised in ancient North America. At its height, Cahokia was home to thousands of people, making it one of the largest cities north of Mexico. From above, Cahokia reveals itself not as a settlement, but as a carefully planned land city. Far to the south, the Maya built magnificent cities deep within tropical forests. Their astronomers tracked planets, predicted eclipses, and created remarkably accurate calendars. In central Mexico, the Aztecs created Tenochtitlan. It was one of the largest cities on Earth. Its bustling markets amazed European visitors with their size, order, and wealth. High in the Andes, the Inca engineered breathtaking cities among the mountains. Roads stretching thousands of miles united distant communities across one of history's greatest mountain empires.
Subscribe for untold stories from the past, and tell us in the comments what history you'd like to explore next.